Tonight we had the second semifinal match between Brockport and Cortland. Brockport won by the score of 3-0. Joining us tonight is head coach Pam Horup and also sophomore middle hitter from Baldwinsville, New York, Amanda May. Welcome. Pam, let's start with you. It's you look at the score of 3-0. It looks lopsided like that, but this match was really close, and it seemed like Brockport defensively just kind of responded every time that you guys made a little bit of a run.
Brockport played great tonight. I did feel like that I thought we played well, and that Brockport played great. You're right. I mean, they were scrappy, picked a lot of things up on defense, ran off the court, brought a lot of stuff, play back in, and just kept the ball alive, which was frustrating for us when we were trying to make runs and trying to get some momentum going, and they did what they had to do tonight. The last set there, when you guys had the lead and they kind of came back, that seemed to be sort of a turning point. If you could have got that set, that you could have maybe turned it a little bit. Talk about that last one. You guys played well. Yeah, and they're looking at their hitting percentage in that third set. It was lower than what they had done the previous two sets, and but we did not have a great attack percentage that set as well. And I think if we could have just hit a little bit better, we had errors, too many hitting errors throughout the night. And even though we did some things better in that third set, as far as blocking some defense, we just couldn't put the ball away when we needed to. And if we could have just been a little bit better offensively, I would have liked to have taken some of the offense from last night and put it in this match. I think we could have pulled that third set out. We needed to be better offensively tonight.
Amanda, let's talk a little bit about the tournament itself. You win last night, you come in here. It's tough to come into the top seed's house, especially with a team like Brockport. But you guys, when you watched you on the court, weren't fazed. The atmosphere was great with the crowd, but it didn't look like you guys were fazed or nervous. You were going at them.
Yeah, we've had a few experiences this season where we've experienced a very rowdy crowd, yeah. And that really helped us prepare for this. And we knew that coming in that they were going to have a great crowd tonight because they are the #1 seed, and we were ready for that. We were prepared, so we try to strive off of it. We don't let it get us nervous, and I think it helped. We blocked it out. So.
Is it tough to play? I mean, you play pool play obviously during the season, but in a situation like this where you have to play last night and you have a team that doesn't have to play, and then you got to turn around and play again. Is that tough, or just once you get into a tournament, all that goes away?
Yeah, I mean, it is different than what we usually do. Play 1 game Friday and 2 Saturday, no matter what. But we knew what we were going into, as we did it last year too, and I think we did well with dealing with the adversity, but I think that just them it being their home court and them having the upper advantage, that might have had something to do with it too.
What do you take out of the tournament and out of the season, being a sophomore looking into next year?
Well, we actually had no seniors, which was a positive of tonight.
So you're all back.
Yeah, we're all coming back. We made it so far this season. We literally completely turned the season around. I mean, we were 16-11, something like that, about halfway through the season, and we completely turned it around. Just 1 game at a time. We switched our offense and our defense, and I think that really helped. And we really are ending off on a positive note, even though we did just lose, because we know that we have come so far, and we are going to pick up in spring season and next season right where we left off, and we're going to come back next year awesome. So I'm looking forward to it.
Pam, talk a little bit about it. I know it's hard to look toward next season, but when you have a roster that's so young, you're not losing people to graduation. From a coach's standpoint, it's got to sort of excite you to say, okay, now we got to take a next step, and everybody's taking it together.
Oh yeah, I mean, like Amanda said, I mean, there's no seniors, and they're relying on a lot of sophomores. Of the 8 that play a lot, getting a lot of playing time. 5 of them are sophomores and 3 are juniors, and we already talked about it in our circle at the end of the match. Just a lot of conversation that we have every semester is about improving, and we just this was a good run at the end of the season. Last time we played Brockport, that was probably one of the lowest points of our season in September, and we just continued to get better. And we talked about improving in the match, improving throughout the season, and we're just going to continue. You just have to keep getting better. going into the spring and then into the fall, and it's just all about improving. Just got to keep getting better.
Is that a little different at the end of the year? Because you see when the last match happens, there's always the tears because there's the seniors' careers end. But when you kind of look around, it's a rare time that a team in any sport at the college level has that. That must be really unique to kind of experience. You look around, hey, they're all back.
We still have tears. There are still some tears. And why are we crying? It's just, I guess it is sad. You know, it's sad when the season ends, and then you're going to go your separate ways a little bit, and you're not going to see each other every day, and you're out of, you know, you're into new routines, and it's just, it is sad when it comes to an end, no matter what happens, and no matter whether you have seniors or not. But you know, it's just. I mean, it's a tough season. It's a
Put a lot of work
season.
in. Put a lot of work in.
We've been on the road for 9 weeks, 9 weekends in a row now. We haven't been home since opening weekend, and I think like it's just all of a sudden you just realize, and it just all comes like to an emotional point of, you know, just everything. You know, the tears that have wanted to be there for weeks maybe. It's just all of a sudden just comes, everything just comes flushing forward, and so.
Amanda, talk a little bit about what Pam just said about being on the road so much. Do you think that helped the young team sort of bond together? You said your season changed at some point.
Yeah, we definitely had a turning point. I'd say it was probably about our game against Ithaca, where everything just kind of clicked. It was like after we changed our offense and defense, and everything just came together, and we kind of realized we were like, hey, it has been like a rough beginning of the season, but we can turn it around here, and we definitely did, and we really proved ourselves. I'm proud of us no matter what. So.
Well, Amanda, Pam, great season. Good luck next year. Hopefully we'll see you back here next year.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Welcome back to the 2015 SNYAC Women's Volleyball Championship, and here we have tonight's second semifinal winner, the Brockport Golden Eagles. Joining us from left to right, Kayla Barber, senior outside hitter from South Glen Falls, head coach Steve Pike in the middle here, and then Noelle Polenkarts from Orchard Park, New York, a sophomore setter. Congratulations on the win tonight. Steve, let's start with you. One of the things that was extremely noticeable about the match tonight is you ended up with 72 digs. It seemed like every time Cortland would try to get some momentum, your players would just dig everything. They were on the floor a lot, making sure that just at the last minute, and it seemed to, you could see the momentum every time it was built on defense. Is that what you saw?
I think that was a big key to tonight's match, that both teams took a lot of great swings, but I think our defense did a little bit better job tonight, and just kind of taking that and making that dig and then getting a ball that we could actually transition and get a swing off from. So I was really proud of how hard they worked and how much they fought for each point.
Hey, Caleb, before we went on, you talked about your term, you said scrappy, but good. But the scrappy part was perfect. How does that energize you as a team, being able to play defense like that?
Basically, it's just like we're relentless to every ball. Like, we never give up on each other, and we're like, we're going to get that no matter where it is, no matter who hits it, no matter where it goes on the court. Like, we're going to get it. We're going to get a touch, and we're going to make something good out of it.
No, I'll talk a little bit about sort of just the feeling of the team. It seems like no matter what, when you guys go on the court, there's nothing that phases you, and it seems like every time out, yeah, we can take this match.
Well, we always talk about how there's 6 of us on the court and everything else off the court doesn't matter. It's those 6 people on the court and our teammates on the side helping us out with every ball and every point, and that's even more helpful.
So you block everything out, but the energy in the crowd tonight was definitely a notch up. Did you feel that on the court, or did you have to block that out to keep from getting too amped up?
I think we used it to amp us up, so, but then
Controlled?
It's still controlled, and we play our game, and we make sure that we can hear each other on the court over the crowd, because that's more important in the long run.
Steve, talk a little bit about the SNYAC Championship and this tournament as a whole. We saw the way the tournament started last night, how close the matches were. You had a 5 beat a 4, you almost had a 6 knockoff a 3. There is no easy match in this conference, and during the championship, you can't take a playoff.
No, it's this conference has been phenomenal since I've been in it for the past 15 years, and it's just every match, every point is going to be hard fought. And you know that when you come to the SNYAC conference and it's a weekend, whether it's a pool play weekend or the championship, that every team's just going to bring their best, and that's it's fun to be a part of that. It's fun to coach in that environment.
When you have a record like you do, how do you convey that to your players to say, just because we've won 25, 26 matches, tonight it's basically 0-0, you gotta start over again.
Yeah, we've just been talking since day one that the next ball is the most important thing. And so that's what we just keep focused on. That's the only thing we can control is how do we play that next ball and how do we do that to the best of our abilities. And we can continue to do that, then we'll take whatever outcome happens.
Last year you saw New Paltz win it at their place. How important was it to get home court advantage and play on your own facility?
Yeah, I think that was a good factor for us to be here, to be in that crowd. I mean, you were in that environment tonight. It was a great place to play in front of that crowd. And so just to be able to be at home, train at home, compete in a place that you train more often than your opponents, I think is a huge advantage.
When you guys, sounds like a game show. You ready to, who's going to ask the questions
I
next?
didn't know if I was getting buzzed off.
So, Kayla, talk a little bit about how is your facility home court advantage for you? When you're in there playing, how's it different to play at home before your crowd and in that arena compared to being on the road?
It's just a good feeling. We get to sleep in our own beds, wake up, we have breakfast with Coach. Coach supplies us breakfast. We're all together as a team. And it's just like a good feeling to be home, like knowing our fans can come and support us and cheer us on like they did tonight. And just basically that we get to practice here, and we practice here all season, and now to be able to host and play here is a good feeling.
Noelle, talk about the same thing. What's it like playing at home for you?
Well, I absolutely love sleeping in my own bed, and we get to go to the dining hall if we want to, and we have time between or before games, and just having your support system, like my support system's way closer here, so it's easy for them to come, and our friends and everyone else.
Is routine important when you go into playoffs at this time?
I think it helps. I think anytime you can keep something as close to what you've been doing all year long, it just makes the performance a more consistent level. So I think the more we can just keep it the same, we're creatures of habit, and so it kind of helps.
Tomorrow you're facing New Paltz. At the end of the year here, you were down 2-0, came back, won 3-2, which is why we're all in Brockport right now. You look at that match, it's probably going to be increased the intensity 10 times at least tomorrow. What do you have to do tomorrow in a championship game to beat a New Paltz type of team and to win a title?
Well, I think tomorrow it's going to come down to how well do we defend a couple of they have a good offensive system across the board, but they have a couple of key hitters who have just been scoring at a real high percentage for them. And so how well can we defend them, and how well can we create our own offense and our own tempo? Those are going to be two key factors. I mean, they hit a really great hitting percentage the first time they get against us. So yeah, we've got to figure out a little bit better way to defend them for sure.
Is there any, with the turnaround time being short to noon, is there any impact? Kayla, what do you think? Is it you're playing at noon tomorrow, or is it a championship game and all bets are off? Doesn't matter what time you play.
Doesn't matter what time we play, all bets off. Anyone's game, and we're just gonna go out fighting.
You guys ready to go right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell.
I'm so excited that it's not later in the day because I don't have to wait then.
Yeah, sleeping's gonna
Be
be
hard to sleep. I was just going to say hard to sleep
It was hard
tonight.
to sleep last
Well, we're going
night.
to let you guys go get something to eat and sleep. Thank you. Congratulations. 3-0 winners over Cortland tonight. Tomorrow at noon, New Paltz versus Brockport in the SNYAC Championship. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.